Hello everybody and welcome back to Cities Skylines, where we are currently working on filling out this hub, and it is going quite well. It turns out we currently need quite a large amount of commercial. So let's go ahead and put some of that in, and I was actually thinking about maybe having this section be commercial. There's not a lot of space in this section compared to some of the others, but that should, in theory, be mostly okay. Now, we do have a route for cargo to come in here, and that route is via the cargo train terminal here. I would also like to have an airport, a cargo airport up here. The question is, how do we connect that? How indeed? So cargo airports are road connected. There's no real way to connect them via rail. Oh, we have some abandoned structures over here. We're not surprised that we're having a worker shortage over here, to be clear. That is very, very expected. And I would definitely like to find a place to put a cargo airport up here. That would be amazing. Of course, we're a little short on cash for that one. Did we end up finishing this? Yes, we did. Okay. So as far as where we would actually end up placing this goes, I would love to have it be like up here, but that's pretty much always going to be sloped too steep. I mean, we may be able to find a location. Yeah, unlikely. We could potentially build one out over here somewhere. If we were to, for example, put in a quick corner here, and have that come in something like this. It's not going to fit our existing system, but hypothetically, something along those lines, we might be able to cram in a cargo airport up here somewhere. That space already occupied, and city limits over there. So yeah, it's not going to work. That's probably for the best, all things considered. Excellent. So, where do we want to put it? We could put it over here and then transport the goods over via a tunnel. That is an option. Of course, we've also got a problem over... Where was that? Over here? No, that's the post-sorting facility. Where did I put the helicopter depot over on this side? It was this helicopter depot. That's right. We've got a small problem here. There's no doubt about that. That is, of course, the reason why we added in this metro stop. And the question is, how many people are actually using it? I'm noticing that they're taking the metro, and then they're immediately coming over here to this helicopter station. And I'm guessing this is because in the pathfinding algorithm, the helicopters read as far faster. That's 2 helicopters landing simultaneously. Okay. That's definitely not awkward at all. Fantastic. So, something that we can do about this. We can create a dedicated helicopter line for traveling, say, from here to up here. And then we can create a separate helicopter depot that goes, if we grab our helicopter stop, rather. If we put in a helicopter stop, say, up over this way... It's apparently space already occupied. We could put it in up here. Like that. And then have our helicopter pathway come in over this way. We apparently can't build on water. I still question that, but whatever. And then we connect that in like that. Then we take our helicopter line here, and we remove the line that essentially connects this all up, right? I'd also like to add a line over here. That's helicopter pathway. I'd like to add a line that goes here up to... I wanted it to go this way. Alas, it's not going to do that. Okay, so we would need to remove this line. Actually, this line can remain. These guys are not having a direct connection. Fascinating. Absolutely fascinating. Okay, so we're going to move this line up here to create a stop there. And we will also move this line to create a stop there. Like so. That definitely doesn't mess anything up at all. Okay, we also probably want to remove this stop. And we want to remove not that stop, but this stop. So this stop is for this line here, of course, and that should remain. I want to grab the stop that is underneath this one. I'm just going to remove it for now, and we'll create a new line that connects up over to here. And then it comes back like that. Okay, so that now has a dedicated connection over there. I do want to check to see what the situation is up here. Not too bad. That's acceptable, I would say. What about the situation here? Okay, that's not acceptable. Really, really high demand on the helicopter lines, to the point where we're probably going to want to completely and fully rethink our helicopter system. More specifically, I think we're going to want to add a lot more connections over here and over here, much like we have over here. If we look over here, yeah, that's doing okay. What about the line that would go, in theory, like over here? Yeah, that's doing, by and large, absolutely fine. We also have some helicopters that are waiting in queue. That's for sure. Not over here, we don't. Absolutely. This is not a thing. No, I don't want to be in this. We just have more and more people piling into this. So that is definitely a concern. Way more people are entering than are being flown. So that indicates, particularly in this area, but also in some of these others, that what we really need is additional helicopter stops. And we have one here. I'm going to actually go through and fully remove all of our helicopter lines and all of our helicopter stops. In fact, I want to go in here and just remove all of these. Excellent. I also want to remove all of these helicopter pathways. And we'll rethink how we want to do this. I didn't expect this to have nearly as much priority in the pathfinding as it ended up having. So we'll just remove all of these. This over here is our helicopter depot. And that, of course, should not be removed. And we'll just do that. Now, I'm going to remove the pathways up here as well. And we're going to reconstruct all of this with a little bit more capacity. We're going to get rid of this as well. However, I feel like this up here is mostly acceptable. I'm going to get rid of this section, and I'm going to actually demolish this structure and get rid of that. Excellent. Oh, this down here. I want to get rid of this too. Okay, so we'll have dedicated lines for traveling from hub to hub. So we will go ahead and create a helicopter stop here, and we will continue to grab all of these locations. We are skipping one spot over here in this hub, which is not necessarily ideal, but it's okay, I think. And then we'll also create a line that goes the opposite direction. Like so. Put that in there and complete that line. Okay, so there's that done. Now, as far as this up here goes, we're going to need a lot of helicopter stops. This one, I think, is completely okay. Yeah, look at all those people just leaving as they no longer have a path to go where they're trying to go. They're all just peacing out, and they're going to head over to the metro, I think, is my guess. Which ultimately may not be a bad thing. I am definitely noticing a very much increased traffic presence on this street, and that's not necessarily good. Now, this helicopter depot, I do want to move it, and I'd love to have it be, like, over here. I don't think that's really an option. It could go here, however. And in terms of power, what's that look like? Oh, we don't need this. Okay, that's fantastic. So we'll have a helicopter depot there. And then we will also put in a few more helicopter depots. In fact, quite a number of them are going to be put in. We're going to put in one over this way somewhere. We do have multiple buildings over here. I think I'm going to move this medical clinic to be over here and the elementary school to be over here, just so that we have a little bit more space. And we will put it in right there. And then any extra zoning that we can do can be done. Okay. There we go. So there's a helicopter stop in that location. We would want one somewhere around here. Perhaps here. Somewhere around here. That would be great. And then somewhere around here. I'm not sure if we can fit one in over here in any reasonable manner. But how about an unreasonable manner? This is a very unreasonable manner. Yeah, I'm not going to do that. Perhaps here. That should be fine. That will be covering that. And then this up here can be like a joint stop where it covers both here and here in theory. And then we would have another similar joint stop like here. Like that. And then we would need one somewhere up over this way. Theoretically, it could go here. I think that's a bad idea to put it there. And in fact, I'm going to move the advanced eco water treatment plant over this way, and we'll need to make sure that that is hooked in. No, not that. I'll just take this out. Okay. And then connect it in something like that. Should do the trick. And then we'll put in a helicopter stop right here, but facing slightly differently. Like that. So that it's on this road rather than on this road. Okay, so we'll do that, and then we will go ahead and create ourselves a few more helicopter stops, but we're going to have to wait a bit. So we will put in our helicopter pathways instead, and we'll just have them be straight line segments, and they will go something like this. Yes, I see that we need some water over there. And we will deal with that in just a moment. Okay, so something like that to cover this general area. Let's get this water out here. I was hoping that this would be enough, but it was not. That should cover it. That's the hospital? Yeah, okay. Good to know. And yeah, the herd is all migrating into the metro. And ultimately, that's probably for the best. But I do want to increase our helicopter coverage. So let's just go ahead and create ourselves a line over here, and we're just going to make our way on around. Like I said, I think that it treats helicopters as faster than metros in the pathfinding algorithm, and I think that's why there was so much pressure on our helicopter stops. But if we just spread that out over several stops, then we should, in theory, be good. Okay, so that is a quick way to get around this circuit here. Next, we need a way to facilitate inter-hub transport. That's for sure. Now, this hub is going to be okay. We have several joint stations, and that will be fine. We can put one in, say, up here at this corner. We can put another one in, say, over... Oh, we don't have the cash for it. We'll hold off on that then. But over here, it'll be okay. I am interested in seeing just how many people swarm the new... Why am I blanking the word? It's a helicopter base. No, it's a helicopter stop. Close enough. I'm definitely interested in seeing how many people swarm it. Although now that it no longer connects up here, we do have an issue. and that is that people can't get up here. And I'm aware of this. I'm definitely very much aware of this. So that means that we, of course, need a helicopter stop that essentially travels in between the hubs. Each hub needs one. And I think I'm going to have it be, like, internal here. Place it there. And we would want to place it in here, but of course that would break the castle. So maybe placing it somewhere like here in this hub. And these are going to be dedicated exclusively for... There's actually this one here that I can simply relocate. These are going to be dedicated exclusively for moving between hubs. And that does, of course, mean that we can zone this over here. Excellent. Okay, so we have a hub here, here. And we're going to need another one somewhere up in here, and that's okay. We want a helicopter stop somewhere like...
We all want to be prepared.
There's a whole lot of space already occupied. So I think because this circle's too small.
Don't think we're jerks. That's where final insurance comes in.
Now we could put one in up over here. That's for sure. And I kind of like that idea. I think that's something that we will in fact do. As far as this hub goes, it's going to be interesting. We may have to put it out over in one of these, maybe out here. Yes, here should be okay. So we'll just allow that to finish up here. Just as soon as we have the cash. There we go. And then one somewhere in here. And where would we want to put that would be the question. Perhaps it should be somewhere like... I mean, that's going to be space already occupied. But somewhere like over here would be probably fine. We'll need some cash for that, of course, but let's go ahead and set up some pathways between the ones that do currently exist. So we'll set up a path over here. I want this to be roughly circular, and apparently we have to join the path. Something like that. I don't necessarily love that. That's for sure. And this path hasn't been set up yet. We would want another one down over in this vicinity and another one up in this vicinity for sure. And probably one over here. I'm going to go ahead and take out a loan to make sure that we can do this a little more quickly. Now, this is not an efficient thing to do, but I don't necessarily care. I just want the cash relatively quickly. I could go to speed 3, but I don't know. I'm always resistant to that. I don't really have a good reason for it. Just resistance to it, I guess. We'll put in a helicopter stop there, and we'll put one in there. I'm watching the coastlines to ensure that we're not messing them up too much. We can put one in there, and that's really, really close to this one. So we'll call that good. We'll link these all together, like so. Those are all then linked, so we'd come down like this. Excellent. And then this, of course, is the internal one. Okay. So we should definitely set up some stops here, and we'll have it go like so. This would then connect up to like here, because that's the shared station, and then down to there. Okay. Yeah, that'll do. Shared station up there. Very close station. And we'll do that. So that does create a connection over here, and that's definitely good to know. Now, we're going to need a station somewhere like... Oh, we already have this one. But we're going to need a station inside of here somewhere, and I'm leaning towards it being like over... I would like it to be on the same side of the road as the metro. And we could actually do that by building it here. And so we shall. And that will, of course, connect up to this one. And this guy, he's going to come all the way down over here. Yeah, that's going to be space already occupied. We'll connect it in like so. And then we'll connect this one over to, say, here. And then this one will come out over this way. Like that. And then we'll connect that to an internal station in here that we don't yet have built. Okay, that sounds good. So all we need in theory for this system anyway is one additional helicopter station here. So then we'll build our pathway up like that, and then this pathway just kind of terminates there, or actually no, it should connect in over this way-ish. We'll have it come down about like that. That'll do. Okay, so we'll add a stop here, and then that will connect all the way down to here, to this hub. This hub will then connect to this hub, and then that will connect up to this hub, which will then connect to this hub, which will then connect back up over here. And then we'll do another one going the opposite direction. So we will do something like that, add a stop here. That stop will go down to our Old Town hub, and then over to our, I don't know what I'm calling that one, and then over to our Mega hub, where it will complete. Like that. Okay. So now we have a way for people to get up here again. That tends to be helpful. And yeah, that did cut in a little bit over here, but we're not disturbing this natural splendor. That's the primary goal there. So as far as these helicopters go, the question is, just how much demand will there be for the helicopter system? And I'm hoping that this reduces the demand pretty dramatically. If we go into our... if we go into this here, then we can see that there are currently 0 vehicles on these because I didn't link up the depot, because I'm clever that way. Okay. Depot linked up. And off go the helicopters. Fantastic. Just how many are there going to be? Well, there's going to be a lot, I can tell you that. Yeah, something along those lines. So off go the helicopters. Let's go ahead and remove some of these in here. I'm not shocked that we have a lack of workers over here. That's very deeply unsurprising. We were working on changing this over here into being a residential section, and I'm going to continue working on that for the time being. We do have more demand of commercial, and that's fine. So let's go ahead and put a little bit more commercial in over this way. I put commercial in 2 areas because I'm clever. So we're going to unzone all of this commercial and cry. And we are going to put it in over here instead. Fantastic. Okay, at this time, I'm going to pay back this loan. Yes, I realize that was not an efficient use of our cash. I also want to pay back this loan fairly soon. That'll be a very handy thing to do. Are we still sending out helicopters? They're just, piling up, literally. Okay. Why are they piling up? Maybe a weird queuing system that the game has going on. I don't know. Regardless, our helicopters are, in theory, being dispatched. Emphasis on the theory. That's pretty exciting. We've got 2 stacks of helicopters, and they're despawning. And now they're moving. I'm guessing that was some sort of a weird traffic bug where they were all trying to go to the same place and couldn't make it and had to wait to despawn. I'm guessing that's what's happening there. Okay. So we'll just keep an eye on our helicopters for now. We can see there's a decent demand over here. And that's fine. I just don't want people to be only using the helicopters, right? There's not that much demand over here, and that's good to know. At least for now. The demand might creep up over time. But hey, we expanded our system here. This is operating normally, but this has low land value. I mean, you're right next to a helicopter stop, so That probably isn't good for your land value, I suppose, but you should have thought before you built there. I mean, helicopter stops, they don't just suddenly spawn out of nowhere, with no warning. That's not how anything works. Except that's exactly how that worked. Okay, this helicopter stop over here, this one has quite a queue. We're not shocked by this. What we are slightly shocked by is the fact that our helicopters are still just sitting there. And I'm wondering if there's maybe a strange issue with these sharp corners. Let's evaluate that. I'm gonna curve this over like that. It could be that the helicopters just don't like those sharp corners. They moved a little bit. Or they just don't like the overall pathing here. So let's take this on out then, and join this in maybe slightly differently. Have this come out something more along the lines of this. And then it can join in, say, up here. Like that. If that's the case, I wonder how they're going to pathfind this area. So I'm going to do these one at a time so that our routes can still pathfind. And I'm going to do the same thing, gently curving it in over here. And then this one should be fine. And we may need to recalculate this route. Maybe. Just trying to find the correct stop here. Maybe it'll recalc itself after a little while. I'm not sure, but it'll probably need to repathfind at some point. Everything else should be reasonably okay, I think. So, how are our helicopters doing? They are doing the exact same thing. Oh, hello. Oh, whoa, okay. They were waiting on this guy to get out of the way. I think there's too many helicopters spawning at once. Perhaps. I'm going to try bumping this down to 100% and 100%. And see if that makes fewer helicopters spawn. That would be the goal here. It is, however, time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that, and next episode, we'll see if we can figure out why these helicopters aren't going where they're supposed to. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and I will see you all next time.